Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. We're seeing it all.
The entertainment.
Flowers. Food. And more. The gardens as well. And I'm here. The 2025 Epcot Flower and Garden Festival is on starting today, March 5th through June 2nd, 2025. And it's a big one because this year marks the 30th anniversary of Flower and Garden. This is my personal favorite Epcot festival. I absolutely love this festival because Epcot is so beautiful with all the flowers during the fest. Plus the food is delicious. There is so much to see and so much to do with Flower and Garden. And we have a massive team of 9 people here to see and do it all. We are also going to be sharing our biggest festival pro tips so that you don't miss out on any of the fun at Flower and Garden. And trust us, we've got some tips that could make or break your Epcot Festival day. Now, Epcot opens at 9 a.m. typically, but the festival booths don't open until 11 a.m. So you can't quite dive into the food or the fest first thing in the morning. That's a good time to knock out your rides. Pro tip, if you want to be eating at one of the booths right when it opens, get there a little bit early because the booths sometimes open a touch before 11 a.m. Now, there are some festival things you can do in the morning, like checking out Communicore Hall, which has gotten a total revamp for this festival and it's looking quite floral inside. You can also go ahead and check out the festival merchandise. It was very busy this morning, but we had the crew in there checking it out, and the merch is pretty cute.
Little old me gets to talk about merch. Okay, well, welcome to Creation Shop. The big thing this year is that you're feeling flirty and 30. We're 30 and flirty. It's basically Orangeburg with 30 plastered everywhere.
Another pro tip is that at merchandise locations around Epcot, you can buy a festival gift card, which is just a regular Disney gift card you can load with money, but it's on a little wristlet, makes it easier to carry around. This is one of my favorite festival tips. I like to load a gift card with $100 or $50 in the morning, however much I want to spend, and that way I know when I hit my budget, because it's easy to just snack around and not think about how much money you're spending, and that way I can decide if I want to add more or cut myself off.
Okay, for my first booth, we are here at Beach Grub. This is a brand new one. It's in tandem with the other one over there. If you haven't noticed, it's Beach Grub. It's because it's a yacht and beach theme. That's apparently a big thing here at this festival now. I'm excited. They also have a new playground right here in the middle called the Play Along Bay Garden. All right, this is my full spread at the Beach Grub. This is the seafood bake. This is the grilled street corn on the cob, the s'mores bar, and then I just grabbed the coconut water. If you want, you can get an alcoholic version with some coconut rum. Not how we're starting our day today. I'm actually really blown away by everything. Out of everything, I think this grilled street corn on the cob is going to be the best thing at this booth. It is plant-based, but it's also familiar. It's going to be available to a lot more people as far as people that will enjoy it. Super savory. There's so much spread on it and it just melts right into the corn. The seafood bake was really flavorful. Festival seafood is kind of hit or miss in my opinion, but what I just ate was so flavorful. The sausage had so much spice and not necessarily heat. There was a little bit of heat in a Disney sense, but just really flavorful. The s'mores, I'll get this 100 times. It was not as dense as I anticipated. It was really light. It's exactly what you want it to taste like. However, it's a little bit heavy for the stick, so I've been eating it with a fork. Just save yourself the trouble and just get a fork and eat it. Maybe you're tired and you need a break, but your kids have a ton of energy. Luckily for you, there are a lot of play areas, like the one behind me that's brand new called Play Along Bay Garden. There's actually 2 different places that you can really have a lot of space to kind of run around and get all that energy out. One is the brand new area over here called Play Along Bay. It's presented by Smuckers, and it's a playground that's actually inspired by Disney's Yacht and Beach Club resorts. And as you can see, it's a pretty popular area. It's a great place to run around. You can also find Camp Get Out and Play Garden. It's over in World Discovery, and you can explore an interactive camp-themed garden where they can play and enjoy some outdoor fun. It is important to remember that places like Camp Get Out and Play do close at dusk, so it's not open all day, but this area will be for the most part. It's a lot of fun. There's tons of different places for them to kind of explore, try new things, and just have a little bit of fun.
And we have made it to my first pavilion of the day, and that is Magnolia Terrace here at the American Adventure Pavilion. And here is everything we grabbed from Magnolia Terrace, starting with the spicy chicken gumbo for $6.50, which comes with Andalou sausage and long grain and wild rice, grilled Gulf oysters with Cajun Andalou sausage, butter, and lemon for $8. The Bananas Foster pudding with a rum caramel sauce at $5. And spiced rum cocktail for $12.50, which comes with spiced rum, coconut rum, simply fruit punch, and a Minute Maid orange juice. Everything was so amazing. The chicken gumbo was so flavorful, and the chicken itself was nice and tender. I loved the Andalou sausage in there. It was just so perfect. A really great gumbo. It has quite a kick. The oysters were very good too. I really liked it. I thought it was funny eating oysters as Alice. They were grilled perfectly, and I love the inclusion of the spicy Andalou sausage in there. It wasn't too spicy though, but it added a nice kick and flavor to it. The Bananas Foster pudding. I was excited, and I'm happy to report that I am more than satisfied. It was delicious. The bread pudding was nice and moist on the inside, and that caramel sauce on top was just chef's kiss. The bananas were nice and sweet. I had a great time eating that one. I'd put it as one of my top 3 favorite desserts of all time in a festival. I just thought it was very good, and everything at this booth was just 10 out of 10.
I found a Tweedle. Tweedledee? Okay, I didn't know who was who. I have my stuff from Florida Fresh, which is the booth inside, well, not inside. You're inside Communicore Hall. I'm outside Communicore Hall.
And I have Farmer's Feast, which is not necessarily new to the festival, but I believe all the menu items for the seasonal menu this time are new.
I've also got new items. Not necessarily new menu, but new food.
Farmer's Feast was magic. The blueberry crumble was fantastic. It tastes more like a cheesecake. It's got a real creamy center to it. The scallops were hands down probably the best thing here you're going to eat from this menu, and you'll have to get here fast because it is going to change mid-festival. Fry helped me out with the grilled asparagus because I'm not terribly fond of greens.
I liked it. I wouldn't necessarily get it again, but you know, it's nice to have a vegetable. Now for Florida Fresh, I am actually saying that both of these items are a star. They are wonderful. First off, the strawberry shortcake, amazing. Who doesn't love a strawberry shortcake? You know what that's gonna taste like, but each individual piece of this shortcake is fresh. It tastes homemade, definitely not store-bought or anything like that, or prepped ahead of time. You wouldn't have to go all the way to Hoop-Dee-Doo to get a nice strawberry shortcake. You can get it here at the festival. The conch fritters, another star of the show, specifically the key lime aioli. Very tart, very key lime forward, but it was amazing. The fritters themselves are nice and golden on the outside, tender on the inside, and it's got a little bit of that spice that you expect, and some peppers, garlic, and things like that. This booth is definitely magic. Both of these items are magic.
We're kicking things off with some of the newest booths here at the festival. This is Yacht Grub. This is going to be one of the fanciest booths we've seen in a while. So we've got the trio of dips and chips with caramelized onion dip, whipped feta dip, and pimento cheese with house-made potato chips and caviar. Yes, for real, that's caviar. There's also the meat assortie, of course, assorted meats with a couple of other accoutrements, and assorted artisanal cheeses and accompaniments. So this is fancy stuff for yacht people like us. Over here we have the sparkling cocktail flight, which is all 3 of the available cocktails here. An elderflower sparkling cocktail, a lemon sparkling cocktail, and an orange sparkling cocktail. Okay, I moved away from the booth because a lot of folks needed tables over there, and I found myself, and now it's like so windy. Anyway, definitely giving Yacht Club a magic. Yacht Club. Definitely giving Yacht Grub a magic. This booth was really interesting because the food was on the fancier side and not what you would typically expect from a festival. One of my big wins here was the dips. I would 100% get these again. The house-made chips were so tasty. All the dips were so flavorful. Pimento cheese was good. The other 2 were incredible. I loved the caramelized onion dip the most. Fry loved the feta cheese dip the most, but I was going to town on these. And the onion dip has caviar on it. Can't really taste the caviar, and I think it's kind of just a fun gimmick, but it's there, and you can say you got caviar at a theme park booth, and people can judge you for that. The cocktails were also really tasty. These are super refreshing cocktails. I think they're going to be very popular when it gets to be a little warmer. Nothing like incredible, but still delicious. And then the meat and cheese plates, each of them, I was surprised by the portions, really respectable portions. I would not be mad about getting served this in a regular, you know, nice-ish restaurant. Like if a nice restaurant served me this, I'd be mad. But a nice-ish restaurant, I'd be happy. The meats themselves were really high quality. The cheeses were pretty tasty. Cheeses were Gouda, cheddar, that kind of thing. Nothing like super out there, but you get to try a little bit of everything. Lots of fun accompaniments. You can make little bites. Recalling my dips, potentially my favorite thing of the day from booth so far. We'll see how that goes. But we continue on.
I'm heading over to the Joffrey's right here. There are different drinks available here for the festival at the different locations. So at this one, we have the iced white chocolate mango latte. I think I'm having an identity crisis. I'm not a coffee drinker. Never really have been. The cold foam on top is incredible. However, I definitely do not taste any mango. Prominent flavors are definitely the white chocolate, but not very strong. Pretty bland, to be honest with you. But because of that, someone who's not a coffee drinker like me doesn't despise it. Personally, what I'm really excited for at this festival is all of the incredible topiaries. You can find them all over the park. And why don't we do a little montage, shall we?
During this festival, you can view living works of artistry that capture the magic of beloved Disney characters planted in whimsical, colorful garden displays throughout the park. There's even a QR code you can scan in your festival passport for a map of the topiaries and gardens. On top of that, there are also special tours offered during this festival. You can take part in the English Tea Garden Tours presented by Twinnings. Over in the UK Pavilion, discover the history and art of tea blending at this elegant English tea garden, featuring important plants from some of Twinings' finest beverages. This tour is free, complimentary with your admission to the park, and you can sign up for a same-day 30-minute guided tour.
Welcome to China. Let's talk about our haul for this very windy day here in China. We got the sauteed beef bao bun filled with pan-fried beef, red onion, jalapeno, and a Chinese sauteed peanut sauce. Then we got the frozen Lucky Peach, which is peach whiskey, peach schnapps, oolong tea, simple syrup, and lemon juice. And of course, the Tropical Moon, which is a vodka, triple sec, passion fruit, syrup, sparkling water, and white boba pearls. Let's dig in. I feel like this year they are getting back to basics, back to some of those more familiar flavors, at least that here in EPCOT/America we are familiar with when you think of Chinese cuisine. You know, wontons, bao buns, pan-fried vegetable dumplings. I really like the bao bun. You know when a bao bun is so light, all you want to do is just like rip it up. I didn't do it, but that's what I wanted to do. And it does say jalapeno, it does say red onion, so I was gonna get some like earthy heat flavors. Not at all. That peanut sauce is so sweet, as well as that light bao bun. Really enjoyed it. Now the Tropical Moon kind of just tasted like a fun passion fruit vodka drink. Not overly sweet, but just like something I might want to have if you like passion fruit on a beach somewhere. But what I really liked was the frozen Lucky Peach. Maybe I liked it because I was just shocked by it. I'm not a huge tea drinker. I'm not a huge fan of the flavor of tea. It's too earthy, it's too herbal for me. I thought it was balanced really well because you even got some lemon juice to bring in some of that probably needed acidity. But definitely there were some solid flavors here. I would recommend this booth, especially if you like the typical Chinese cuisine. Really enjoyed it.
Now, I'm not over there right now, but we do. You can join in. We do have to mention the butterfly garden. So over by the Land Pavilion, there is the butterfly garden. It is wonderful, it's beautiful, it's magical. Go in there, go inside the tent. There's butterflies everywhere, super pretty flowers. Everything is super colorful and vibrant. For example, I found out how many bees tall I am. I'm 120 bees tall and Emma's 130. Go find out how many bees tall you are and let me know.
Actually, comment down below if you know how many bees tall you are.
I am here at my first booth of the day, which is Refreshment Port. This is right outside of the Canada Pavilion. It's right before you enter World Showcase. And It's time to eat some poutine. Now the traditional poutine you can get pretty much year round here, but for the festival we have the Provence poutine. This is herbes de Provence, seasoned French fries, goat brie, lavender honey, hazelnut croquant, and fresh lavender. It looks gorgeous, actually. I'm loving the flowers. I have never had this type of cheese before, but I am impressed. And the seasoning that is on this, that is so flavorful. Very good texture on the cheese too. Overall, I think this is a winner. I'm really glad I don't have a ton of booths today because that means I can eat almost all this.
Refreshment Outpost belongs to no pavilion. It's here on its own. The thing that I love is they'll usually feature a rotating menu of Dole Whip and soft serve flavors and some special treats like the one we're gonna try here today. Fruit parfait with sweet chili sauce and Dole Whip mango. I'm not a big fan of tahini on fruit, but this combination, the balance of this particular offering is really perfect for me. I would say it's lighter on the tahini. You get more, obviously, of that mango Dole Whip because most of the dish is mango Dole Whip. And then you have that chutney in there. I don't know, I love this. And now for the Jamaican patty. This is featuring impossible beef with spicy papaya syrup. It is starting to rain and I don't care because this tastes so good. I love the spice. It is a little hot. I've had viewers in the past come up to me and say, Breedlove, you said something was not that spicy, and then I ate it and it was a spice attack. And I feel so bad about it. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is spicy. I am feeling that burn. It's just the specific viewer who stopped me at Hollywood Studios. I'm being very clear. This is not for you, but it's for me.
Stop number 1 for me today, La Isle Fresca. We've got the Jamaican jerk chicken with the pigeon pea rice, roasted sweet plantains, and cinnamon butter. The seafood ceviche with shrimp, scallops, fish, citrus, radish, and chalupa. Coconut chocolate flan, which is chocolate cake, coconut custard, and passion fruit caramel. Over here, we've got our citrus slushy. I got the non-alcoholic version, simply lemonade, simply grapefruit, and simply syrup. This is the Florida Orange Groves Winery Hurricane Class 5 Tropical Sangria. So let's talk about this. Starting with the Jamaican jerk chicken. This has more of a kick than I thought it would. I think this is great amount of spice, but it is more spice than I was expecting. I was also kind of worried it was going to be dry, and it's really not. It looks like it, but you get a little bit deeper, and it's good meat. The flan, my favorite part about this is the passion fruit sauce. That is wonderful. It's fruity, it's light. With the ceviche, this is probably my favorite of the food items. A lot of hearty chunks of like the scallops and shrimp, so they're not pulling back there. The tomato brings a nice brightness to it. I can't give that a higher compliment. I'm so excited to finish that. I do taste that orange, I taste that citrus note. That being said, it's definitely not one that I would go out of my way to order again. And it's almost gone. I think that it's a simple concoction, and that makes it work.
Okay, we got all of our stuff from Swirled Showcase. One item is already gone, and that is the lemon sorbet in a waffle cone. I loved this. I thought it was a very great, refreshing flavor. It tastes like those Minute Maid icy things that you get at the ballpark. Just like anything in Florida, it melts fast, so just be prepared for that. But it's already gone, but it was very good. We're going to try the liquid nitro honey mascarpone cheesecake with fresh honey, granulated honey, and honey mead blueberry compote. Ooh, the flavors are very good. Tastes like a regular cheesecake with lots of honey, and obviously the blueberries go with it. This is really good. I kind of wish there was more blueberry.
I do agree with that. I think it balances out really well.
Next up, we've got the lemon elderflower float. This is the lemon sorbet and Central 28 Beer Company elderflower pale ale. I'm not a huge beer drinker normally. It's not really my go-to, but tied in with the tartness of the lemon sorbet makes it really nice. It's refreshing, it's light, it's not super heavy. The lemon sorbet is definitely overpowering the beer, which is what I would prefer. I would get this over the regular beer, for sure. But again, I have a big sweet tooth. And now I also have the Central 28 Beer Company's Elderflower Pale Ale. Okay, not bad. On the lighter side, it's a little crisp. It's got a little bit of hoppiness to it, a little too much for my taste. But again, it's not terrible. I can still drink this whole thing. It's just not my favorite. I don't know which one's my favorite. No, the cheesecake is my favorite, for sure. And that's crazy for me to say, because you all know I don't like cheesecake.
If you're looking for something a little fun for your children, the kiddos, there are a couple scavenger hunts. Now, if you want to do one of these scavenger hunts, you can actually purchase the map at Creation Shop. In addition, you can find those maps at World Traveler and festival markets. But the first scavenger hunt you can do is Spike's Pollination Exploration. Throughout the park, gardeners of all ages can follow Spike on his pollination trail, where he will be, he's a bumblebee, where he will be busy collecting nectar and pollinating gardens at EPCOT. He's a super cute character, but also there's a scavenger hunt that's only available for a limited time, and that's the Egg Extravaganza Scavenger Hunt. And that's where you can join a colorful Easter egg hunt inspired by Disney characters. Another fun way while you're drinking, or another fun way while you're experiencing all that Epcot has to offer. Another fun way to keep your kids entertained.
And also located inside of the American Adventure Pavilion is the funnel cake stand, where they are serving a special funnel cake just for the festival, and it is a peaches and cream funnel cake. This funnel cake comes with powdered sugar, vanilla ice cream, peaches, whipped cream, cobbler crumble, and cinnamon bourbon caramel sauce. I have a huge sweet tooth, so I'm very excited. Let's order it. I got the funnel cake. It started raining. Ooh, oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Chill out. Cheers. Great!
Just an update, we are at the France booth, and the rain is happening. It's like ice. Also, I found DFB Bria. Hi! Here is the spread. We've got the La Vie en Rose, the cantaloupe cocktail. We got our chocolate, we've got our goat cheese croissant, we've got our caramelized beignet, and we've got our duck.
It looks great.
It looks so good. We're really gonna enjoy it, I think. France booth. Yay.
Yum.
It's pretty good. We, as a collective, have decided not to hold the rain event against the France booth. What are your booth thoughts? How do you feel about this stuff?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
Soggy and all.
Yeah, it was a little soggy, but can't knock them. On the savory side, we had the duck with the gnocchi, which was pretty tasty.
That shocked me, honestly.
Yeah.
I had my doubts.
I'm quite familiar with the shock of the duck at the France booth because I don't like duck, but they often do duck dishes here, and I typically do really enjoy them, especially in cooler months on cooler days. The goat cheese croissant is a staple at Flower and Garden. It's a lot of goat cheese in a croissant. If you like goat cheese, this is a, I mean, it's a lot of goat cheese. Like, I actually really like goat cheese, and this is still a little too much goat cheese in one.
Yeah.
In one
agree.
outlet for me. We have the gâteau au chocolat, which it's a cake, allegedly. But the vibe is really more just a vat of hot brownie batter.
I love it. It was totally my vibe.
Super chocolatey, super
Warm.
sweet and rich.
We could not get the icing to stay unmelted.
No, it melted within, I mean, seriously, the icing on it melted within like 30 seconds. It was a real winner, a little too rich for my taste. And I think it could be a bit heavy on a Heart of Park day. Bria disagrees.
I'm going to take a bath in it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Another returning winner here is the caramelized beignet. which is more of a donut than it is a beignet. It reminds me of like a cream-filled donut that they've done a caramelized top on, which like that is what it is. That's why it reminds me of that.
The best part about it is like that charred, sugary glaze on top.
There's like little burnt bits that give you,
Because it's all so soft, and then all of a sudden you get that nice crunch.
sticky crunch.
That creme brulee crunch.
It's
I love
tasty.
it.
It's a big donut.
It
Like
is.
it's like a sizable.
Like besides our cake, everything was really hearty.
Yeah, I would say so. And the cake was so rich you didn't want it to be hearty.
Exactly.
I think you have to be in the mood for the stuff here. I'll say that. Bria wants to take a bath in the brownie
I just
batter.
want the brownie batter. That is all.
Do you like gardens? Do you like rock? Then you'll love Garden Rocks here at the American Adventure Pavilion at the America Gardens Theater. Here you can see bands from the most famous in the land to local cover bands. And you know what? All of them are amazing. You cannot lose attending Garden Rocks during the EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival.
Okay, we made our way over to our next booth, and if you don't know what it is, it's the citrus blossom. I'm really excited. It's right here in the Odyssey, so we get to go inside for a little bit. All right, this is our full spread from the citrus blossom. And of course, we got it all. We grabbed the orange sesame tempura shrimp right up here. We also grabbed the citrus baked brie. We grabbed the lumpia, which this is a new item at this booth. And then we also grabbed the lemon tart as far as food goes, also new. For the drinks, we grabbed a returning favorite, which is the key lime wine slushy. And then you can't go to the Flower and Garden without grabbing the orange lemon smoothie, which is served in an orange bird sipper. Of course, the standout and the most popular item is going to be this little guy. This is the orange bird. It is the orange lemon smoothie. I love it. I think it's really nice and light. It's a thin smoothie, which I really like. It makes it really easy to enjoy. I also think it reminds me a lot of a creamsicle, which I love that flavor. So if you like creamsicle, this is a must. As far as the food goes, the shrimp tempura, crispy, crunchy with a sweet glaze on it. I love this one. I get it every single year. I'm super thrilled to see it back. The citrus baked brie was a really incredible balance of sweet and savory flavors. The orange lemon marmalade, super sweet, balanced beautifully with the brie that was inside of the really flaky crust. The tart was really nice, light, fresh, acidic, and bright. Not a must, but if you like a lemon pie, it's really, really good. Lumpia, I actually really enjoyed this. And important to note, I forgot it's plant-based. It is plant-based, and I was eating it, totally forgot until I was reading through the menu and looking at the ingredients. Overall, really good. Whole booth is a magic. It's a magic every year, and this is a safe bet if you're looking for anything orange bird themed, or you want to sit inside and you happen to be over here, grab something while you're here.
Let's talk about Germany. In Italy. It is so rainy and so windy. So when they first handed me the potato pancakes, I had two initial thoughts. First thought, who put these potatoes in my applesauce? The second thought, who put my applesauce on these potatoes? I don't know what's going on in Germany, but it made me mad because it worked. I was wildly impressed. I'm not sure if it's the sweetness or maybe the freshness of the applesauce. You don't typically call applesauce fresh, but it's just like the sense of the apple brings some freshness to it. It really complements the buttery savoriness of the potato pancake, which the potato pancake is basically just smashed down hash browns. We have found another item going on the official Sage Starkey craveable list, and that is the pretzel bread with the ham and the melted cheese. It was so good. But you know when you make that face, like that stank face, you're like, oh, I love this. The almost smokiness of the ham versus the savory saltiness of the oiliness and all the best placed kind of cheese. It is absolutely to die for.
The Honey Bistro, I love this booth. It is a fan favorite year after year. Today at the Honey Bistro, I got the honey glazed cauliflower with honey roasted carrot puree, wild rice pilaf, spring vegetables, honey blistered grapes, and sunflower brittle. I also got the honey peach cobbler freeze with streusel, and I got the non-alcoholic version, but you can get it alcoholic with blueberry vodka. You sang the praises of this last year. I agree. This is amazing. I would get this every time I come to Epcot during this festival.
100%. This is, me and Quincy, this is a returning favorite. We're so glad to see it back every year. And it's just a good, consistent dish, and you have like, you know what to expect from it, I feel.
Yes, it's got a little bit of savory, a little bit of sweet with the puree. It's got some vegetables in it, it's got grapes, so I don't feel like I'm eating heavy theme park food. I feel like it's good for you, better for you, and it's super flavorful. It's also very pretty. Like this is the epitome of a flower and garden dish to me. So I love it. Also, this little shake, it's great. I think this is a good option for kiddos who want a special little drink, but nothing too large, nothing too sugary and sweet. But I love it. I love strudel. Any kind of bakery item with a little strudel, little crumbs on top. Love it.
Do you ever dream about all-day brunch like I do? Well, if that's the case, you've come to the right place. All right, I'm gonna be trying the biscuits and gravy that were vegetarian last year. This year they're vegan, and I can eat them, and I'm excited.
And I'm gonna try the cereal shake.
I love mine.
I actually really, really, really like this. Shrimp rickets. Cinnamon bites.
My biggest tip for the festival is to bring a tray. Now, these are a fantastic size. This even fits in my bag. And these are a great way to grab multiple different items from different booths and then go sit down somewhere. You don't have to grab one from one and then have to worry about trying to balance it in your hands. These things help so much. You can find packs of them on Amazon for relatively cheap. It honestly gives cafeteria vibes in the best way. Trust me, you need one of these.
Midday update is that Florida can and will gaslight you about the weather. It was, I mean, truly icy wind, downpour. Look at the sky now. Look at the sky now. What?
All right, I'm obviously, we still gotta eat. Am I hungry? A little, not really. But is there more to be seen and tried? Yes. So we're here, Trowel and Trellis. This is the full spread. I got the soy glazed pork sticky ribs. We got the farmhouse meatball, which is plant-based. We also got the chocolate mousse terrarium. And to wash it all down is the tropical punch, and no alcohol this time. There's actually several of us here. The rain is finally gone, the sun is out, and I am gonna be trying Trowels and Trellis. Trowel and Trellis.
One singular trowel and one singular
Trowel, Trellis. Also, me and Miranda kept making a trials and tribulations joke, and now I can't remember the real
She
name.
literally was typing it out.
Trowels and
Did I get it?
Trellises. Yes.
A little behind the scenes fact, the reason I'm here is not because I'm eating at a booth near
Yes,
here.
it is.
Well, actually, it will be, but it's because...
Don't forget this.
I don't need that. There's a behind the scenes fun fact is that when I'm done with all my booths except for one, I scour the festival looking for my friends to collect their garden graze stamps.
Yeah. Which you guys are going to see soon.
Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt where if you eat 5 specific items from around the fest, you can overlap.
I thought it was 6.
You eat 5, you get a 6th.
Ah, you're so smart. I just kept seeing 6 oranges.
I can count.
This is why she does it.
You don't have to get them all in the same passport, so usually, so that we're not wasteful, of course, we go around and grab each other's passports that have the stamps, and I have to go collect them. So this is the part where I take a little hike in the middle of the festival.
Yeah. If you guys are coming back to the festival multiple days too, if you don't want to get all 5 items in one day and you forget your passport, you can use multiples. You don't have to just have them all in one.
You also, if you lose your passport, take a picture of your receipt because they'll honor it too.
Let's talk about it. Sticky ribs. I really liked it. It was not as dry. I was anticipating them being a little bit dry. The one that I had was a nice mix of fatty and meat, which I really liked that flavoring. And I also enjoyed the crunch of the peanuts. I thought it added an interesting textural element. I was blown away by the farmhouse meatball. This is the plant-based offering. I think it is a must, even if you're not a plant-based eater, actually. I'm not as crazy about the lentil bread that it comes in, but the garlic herb aioli sauce is just, it blew my socks off. Like, it's so good. And I wouldn't have known it was plant-based if they didn't tell me personally.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't either. Like, I didn't even really know what I was eating. Emma just said, eat it, and I did.
True.
And then I went, is this plant-based? And she said yes.
The tea was really great. I was surprised how much I liked it. It was really light. It's an herbal tea. It's mango passion. There's so many fruits in it. So it's very nice and sweet, but not in a syrupy way, which I can really appreciate. And then, did you try any of the terrarium?
I did not. Can I?
Try some terrarium.
Terrarium?
Yeah, it's the chocolate terrarium. It's a chocolate mousse with matcha crumble on top. It reminded me a little bit of a cookies and cream situation, just not as sweet. The matcha has a little bit of an earthy element, but not in a way that was off-putting. I enjoy matcha. A lot of people don't, but I don't think it's a super strong flavor.
No, it's not. I don't really love matcha. It's not something that I drink on the regular. This is fine. This is great. It doesn't necessarily taste like matcha like you would expect.
It's more of a textural element, I think.
It's more texture. The chocolate is obviously overpowering it. So I think it's good, and it's fun.
And here's everything we grabbed from Hanami, including the ramen cup, the frushi, and the takoyaki, which is octopus balls served with spicy mayo, okonomiyaki sauce, and crunch rice pearls. Everything looks absolutely delish. So starting with the takoyaki, I love takoyaki, and this one pretty much tasted like most takoyakis that I've had. Not the best, like most festival booths. They have the food pretty much already made, at least a majority of it, and then they give it, so the takoyaki doesn't have that crispy exterior that I personally love. I would say that takoyaki is not a snack I would recommend someone who is sensitive to textures, because it is quite chewy thanks to those bits of octopus inside of it. The ramen in the cup, however, I didn't love. I love ramen. It's one of my favorite foods ever, and this is just very disappointing. I was aware that it was going to be cold. I was kind of not about that idea, and it didn't change my mind. I think the noodles were overcooked. I think there wasn't enough broth, and whatever there was of broth wasn't flavorful. I was disappointed. The frushi, however, I absolutely adored. Oh my goodness, the fruit was fresh and sweet, and I loved how creative and unique it is. It's also a great treat to give to kids because they'd be so excited to eat sushi, but they're eating fruit, which is very, very good for them. And it's just, it made me happy eating it. I loved it. I can see why many people are big fans of it. I was as well. Now on to the drinks. The strawberry sake was incredible. It tasted very elevated. It does have a strong of an alcohol taste, but it just felt really balanced overall with everything. So I love the strawberry sake. The Kyoto boba was the only non-alcoholic drink, so I liked that. However, it didn't really blow my mind. It wasn't bad. It was kind of fruity and juicy, but I think it was missing something to kind of wow me. The boba was the average popping boba. It was okay. The Japanese pavilion is my favorite pavilion. It's absolutely gorgeous in here, so eating here is 10 out of 10 experience.
Okay, pro tip friends, please take breaks. Flower and garden is so fun, and you're gonna wanna do as much as you can, as possible, in a single day. But you gotta listen to your body, and you gotta stop, and you gotta breathe, and just rehydrate as much as possible. Sage came by a little bit earlier, and he gave me a smart water because he said that friends don't let friends drink Dasani. And I appreciate that. So, here's to you, Sage. We have made it to Connections, where I have mobile ordered. Yes, you can mobile order these eats, which can save you a ton of time. So first we have the carrot cake liege waffle. This is with pecans and cream cheese icing. And then we have the lemon lavender Baumkuchen. And this is like a cake. It is like a very, very thin cake. Is it bad? Not at all. If you are a carrot cake fan, you will likely really love this flavor. I really enjoy the way the cream cheese mixes, that flavor profile mixes with carrot cake. My only issue is you can tell that it's prepackaged. It is time for the Baumkuchen. Ooh, it's way softer than I expected. Holy moly. Okay, cheers. That is not what I was expecting, but in the best way. The whipped cream on top is your regular whipped cream, very light, very airy. The cake itself is very soft. This cake feels fresh to me. I don't taste a ton of lavender. I believe it is there, the slightest hint. I'm not the biggest lavender fan, which is why I really enjoy this dish. I am thoroughly enjoying it. Well done, Connections. Well done.
Primavera Kitchen Hall. Let's go, baby. Starting off, we got their cacio pepe with penne, shrimp, zucchini, peas, asparagus, and creamy cacio pepe sauce. We got the chocolate dirt cannoli, which is a cannoli shell with cookies and cream filling. That sounds delicious. Then we have this dish that I can't pronounce. I asked them if they would pronounce it, and every time I say it, I sound crazy. But the dish includes grape tomato, seasonal melon, mozzarella, and balsamic dressing. Then we did get 2 beverages. One that I'm intrigued about, one I'm terrified of. This first one is an Italian-inspired blood orange margarita with tequila, triple sec, and blood orange liqueur. And then we've got the caprese cocktail. I've had caprese before, but never in a drink form. It's basil-infused vodka, balsamic tomato juice, and fresh mozzarella. After eating everything, let me just tell you, it was fine. Unfortunately, there wasn't one thing on this menu that I was like, I've got to have this. I got to come back for this. Everything was just fine. We'll start with the cacio pepe. First off, they automatically just get like a couple points for making sure that the tails of the shrimp were taken off. Now, a typical cacio pepe dish is basically pepper and cheese. It's a pepper and cheese dish. I wanted more sauce because without the sauce, the dish is a little bland. And when the sauce was on there, I was like, oh, this, okay, I can eat this. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough sauce to cover the entire dish. And then there's the dish that I can't pronounce. I'm telling you, I tried. I sound crazy. This felt like a little bit of like something you would get as an appetizer. Now, as I always do, I try to take the perfect bite, which is, a little bit of everything. What a unique flavor profile. Typically, I love sweet and savory, but it was basically like someone chopped up cherry tomatoes, mozzarella, melon, put balsamic, and called it a day. And the chocolate dirt cannoli, honestly, it was a great cannoli. I just don't know why they had to do a dirt theme. I was like, y'all, you realize you're in Italy, right? You don't need to like spruce up your cannoli with a gummy worm and dirt. Again, here's the thing that's funny. It says it's an Italian-inspired blood orange margarita, and then the ingredients are tequila, triple sec, and blood orange liqueur. So my question there is, what about this makes this Italian-inspired? It's Italian-inspired because it's just in Italy. Okay, got it. And the caprese cocktail is inspired from the caprese dish, which is basically tomato, balsamic, and mozzarella cheese. Just tasted like drinking tomato juice. If you want some good old-fashioned tomato juice, which I know many people like, this is where you can get it. Overall, everything was just fine.
I am headed here to my last spot, which is the Joffrey's located near Mission Space and Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the Iced Pistachio Banana Breeze Latte, which is a nutty blend of espresso, milk, banana syrup, and pistachio syrup topped with whipped cream. Not a fan of the flavor profile, not at all. The pistachio is very strong here. I don't taste any banana particularly, which I think is actually a blessing. I don't think that would work super well. Or maybe it is there, but I mostly just taste pistachio. I do not recommend spending $6.50 on this.
Pineapple Promenade, a big finale. I always finale at this booth that is right here, behind me, because this is the booth where you can get the completer prize for the garden graze. Garden graze is a really cool progressive eating thing that you can do at Festival of Flowers. That's not what this is called, Flowering Garden. And basically the garden graze, as you can see right here, means that you purchase any 5 items from the list. They'll give you a stamp when you purchase, and once you have 5 stamps, you purchased all 5, you can go and get a 6th festival treat for free, complimentary. It's a lot of eating, I'll be honest. You can double up and you can share, like, if I do this with somebody else, we can share the festival treat. So I do recommend doing that, just 'cause it does tend to be a lot of eating. I'm excited to find out the completer, but first we had to check out the menu at Pineapple Promenade. So the name of the game here is pretty much Dole Whip. They have Dole Whip, they have some interesting beers. Pineapple is a pretty common flavor across the menu. But I tried a couple of things that are not Dole Whip. Dole Whip is a frozen, non-dairy pineapple soft serve treat. It's very delicious, but it's also very common around Disney World. We considered trying the spicy hot dog. It has a pineapple chutney, banana chips, and a spicy sauce on it. It honestly looks pretty good. And then the Desert Violet Lemonade. This is non-alcoholic. It is a slush, and it has an edible flower grown in the land on it. See? Edible. Overall, this booth isn't a super big standout. The slush is really tasty and refreshing and great if you are just a frozen lemonade fan, but it doesn't have anything too special with it. The hot dog is cool because it is hearty enough to be a meal, but the quality isn't completely there. The hot dog itself is fine, and it is pretty spicy. I love the crunch from the banana chips. It's just that I think you could save room for other festival items unless you just really, really, really want a spicy hot dog with pineapple on it. Now, before we go find out what we won on the garden graze, I want to point out that we didn't eat quite everywhere today. We did eat at every single festival booth except for one, which is Tangerine Cafe Flavors of the Medina. This is the Morocco booth, and the menu is the same. The food menu is mostly the same at every festival, and it is the same year to year. So no Morocco booth for us this year, just because it's kind of a, I call it a fake festival booth. It used to be a full quick service, and now they kind of just call it a festival booth while not changing the menu and offering more limited menu than a quick service. So I actually do really like the food there, and they have wonderful kebabs, lamb and chicken. So you can check that out if that's interesting to you. There are a couple of spots like Connections Cafe, where JP went, which are full restaurants that do have special festival offerings. This includes Joffrey's, Sunshine Seasons, Connections Cafe, and more. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know what fun festival offerings you might see. And now I guess we better go find out what we won with our trials and tribulations today. All right, here's our prize. It's a Dole Whip. So this is really interesting because this is a pineapple and vanilla Dole Whip swirl, which is a very normal thing, except for the fact the vanilla is plant-based. The entire garden graze is plant-based items, so the prize has to be plant-based as well. And typically when you get a Dole Whip vanilla swirl, Dole Whip is plant-based, the vanilla is regular soft serve. In this instance, the vanilla is plant-based, so really interesting. You also get a wildflower mix, so you can take the flowers home with you and plant them at home. The vanilla is very good. I think it's pretty indistinguishable from like real vanilla ice cream. I don't ever get my Dole Whip swirl because I really love the tangy, sweet pineapple flavor. Maybe I should, because it really is reminding me of like a citrus swirl, which is a famous Disney treat that you can't get anymore, which was frozen orange juice and vanilla ice cream, and you can get orange Dole Whip and vanilla ice cream now. But this, I just don't ever get the swirl. It's like a pineapple creamsicle. So I'm happy with this completer treat, and I'm happy with my wildflowers. You guys just finished EPCOT Flower and Garden. What are you gonna do now?
We're going to Disney World!
But you're there already. Good news. All right, what was your favorite part of the festival?
Food.
Favorite part?
Getting rained on with you.
Aw, favorite part?
Beach grab.
Concert series.
The cauliflower.
The Topiaries. Communicore Hall.
When the biscuits and gravy turned from vegetarian last year to vegan this year.
Ooh. And my favorite part, as always, was doing it all with this silly group of guys and gals. Woo!
Oh no, not that
My head! If you're still here, like this video and make sure to drop this secret code in the description so we know you made it all the way. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our antics. We promise there will be more. Woo!
Yay.